You know, some of the simplest things in life can be the most confounding or complicated. Only really if you allow them to be. But as it relates to this particular subject of chewing or mastication, this is a simple thing that we all do every single day of our lives when we eat or ingest food, with the exception of drinking fluids. Solid, semi-solid foods, we have to chew it. Some people don't really understand the process of chewing. Now, when we have received the majority of our teeth, or virtually all of the teeth that we're going to have for the rest of our lives after we pass that stage of childhood to adulthood, it's approximately 32 teeth. And there are some people who say that you must chew your food at least 32 times. Really? No two people are the same, number one. And number two, it depends always on what it is that you're eating. All foods are not the same. What if you have Jell-O? Must you chew the Jell-O or the ice cream or the yogurt? No. It's pretty much a liquid, isn't it? But anyway, how many times must we chew our food? In order to wrap your brain around why this is so important, you must first understand digestion. The purpose of digestion is to break down the foods that we eat into the simplest form so that it can be used and assimilated into the body, and the body can receive nutrition through vitamins and minerals and amino acids and various other components, to include water, throughout oxygen as well, throughout the system, all the way down on a cellular level. But our bodies are set up for us to contribute to this part called digestion. Digestion just doesn't happen on its own. So digestion actually begins in the mouth, contrary to popular belief. Some people think it's just your stomach that's involved in digestion, but if you really take a look at it, it begins in the mouth. First of all, when you see food visually with your eyes, when you smell food, and when you taste food, you start a reaction from your brain to your taste buds to your stomach, letting your stomach know what types of digestive juices to secrete to break down those particular types of foods. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Your body knows through its olfactory senses and through its taste buds what's real food, for example. What's sugar, what's starch, what's salty, what's bitter, what's spicy, what's bland. It knows. So, what you smell, see, and taste allows your mind to tell your stomach to get ready. Something's coming down, and you need to be prepared to break it down so that it can be used by the whole system. So now, how should you chew your food, and how much should you chew your food? You should chew your solid or semi-solid food until it is liquefied. Your saliva contains enzymes. Those enzymes go to work. Once the food enters your mouth, it goes to work breaking down, for example, starches, and lubricating the food to not only make it easy to chew, but it makes it easier to swallow down your esophagus so that it can enter into your stomach. So those enzymes begin to be secreted by your saliva glands first. You must chew that food mechanically until that food is almost purely liquid. That makes it easier for your stomach to break down. Once you swallow the food, it enters your stomach, gastrointestinal juices, hydrochloric acid, and so forth, begins to break it down even more and more and more, for it to start its journey from there to the small intestine, where much of the nutrition is absorbed into the blood, and then to the large intestine or the colon for elimination later. That's really simple. So what happens when we don't chew our food to the point that it's liquefied? Instead, we have that pizza party or that pizza night at home or work, and we're chewing, our eyes are much bigger than our imagination, and we see this beautiful cheese pizza with maybe some anchovies and some chicken or some beef on it or sausage or what have you, and our mind say, well, I want 3 or 4 pieces of that pizza. So you start chewing, and when you get to a certain point, you just swallow. Or that hamburger tastes so good, let me go on and finish this hamburger and these fries. You chew it partially and you swallow, never thinking about what this could cause down the line or the road. Let me tell you real quick and I'll be done. Did you not know that if you don't chew your food thoroughly in your mouth to the point that it's liquid and you are swallowing chunks of food, that's animal protein or meat, that's vegetables, fruit, or whatever, it stays in your stomach longer. And when it stays in your stomach longer than it's intended to be in your stomach, guess what? You start something called gas, bloating, inflammation, and putrefaction. The food begins to rot in your stomach before it ever leaves the stomach, because it's only intended to be there for a short period of time and then continue on its journey and then ultimately out into the toilet, the waste that is. So make sure that you chew your food until it's liquefied to speed up the digestive process so that you don't end up with leaky gut, colitis, IBS or irritable bowel syndrome, and even Crohn's disease. Because all of these things are related to improperly digested foods, improperly combining foods, even medications on some level. But you must make sure that you chew your food thoroughly to the point that it's liquefied, and then you shouldn't have these other issues. But the diet is another issue all by itself, and how you combine or not combine your foods. So in my conclusion, again, I just told you 2 or 3 times already, how much should you chew your food before you swallow? You chew it until it's liquefied. I know this may take some getting used to, because a lot of people are just used to just swallowing and swallowing and swallowing, and then they end up with, oh, my stomach's bothering me, I have a stomach ache, or they're going to buy the Pepto-Bismol and all of these other over-the-counter drugs, Mylanta and so on and so forth. To avoid all of that, chew your food thoroughly until it's liquid. Alright, this is Brother Teacher. So long.